Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Jesse, your DM.
Cody playing Lazarus.
Brennan playing Dis.
Mike playing Nim.
Britt playing Kenna.
And we are Double Doubles and Dragons. We're a group of goofy Canadians that have gotten together to play a little D&D. Sometimes we will say things that are inoffensive. We mean them as jokes, of course, and they're certainly funny to us, but some people may find this offensive. If you do, we apologize, but we don't want any hate mail about it. So just don't listen, okay? Let's jump right into the action. Welcome back, everybody. Quick recap of last session before we get into it. Some deals were made. We had a mysterious individual who seemed to be from the Thieves Guild come by and kind of put the party in a tough spot in the laundromat, but overall they decided to just kind of have a chat with him and found out he wasn't so bad, really. He asked about what they found in Wallace's mansion, seemed to be pretty happy with the information that he got from them, and at the end welcomed Nim and Dis into the Thieves Guild. Kenna, not so great. She had to go run and grab a note, which she then copied, and then came back to find out that she wasn't invited to the Thieves Guild, and felt maybe a little bit left out by that. And then we ended with our mysterious, raspy-voiced stranger sort of just sauntering into the back alley as the party was getting ready to leave. So I guess we'll pick up right from there. Sorry. I'll repeat myself. I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
No. Of course not. We were just having a nice walk.
Roll deception.
Yeah.
13.
A nice walk.
Yeah.
I understand. Walks are nice.
Yeah, it's an exercise, right?
But aren't you supposed to be guarding something?
Or livelihood, yes.
Well, of course, always your livelihood. But something else. Something you were asked to guard.
Oh, geez, I thought our time was up there.
Roll deception.
Oh, that's going to be a lucky point.
Nim uses another lucky.
Where's my... Oh, that's right here. Make sure I have another lucky point. I don't have to dip into my... Yep, I still have one left. So... mark that off. And roll. Come on, Orange Jesus. Oh, I guess that's on its side. Alright, so that was deception?
Yeah.
It was like a 5.
I see. The cloaked individual just sort of nods his head. So you understand that you left early.
Well,
Why?
there...
There was circumstances.
Circumstances were afoot indeed. There was an attack.
I almost died.
This can sometimes happen when you're asked to defend something.
And we did defend it. Lazarus himself took out the enemies. Some of them.
He had help.
And he had help from Kenna.
I see. Don't misunderstand. You did a good job. Since we asked you to defend the manor, and it sounds like you did. But then you left rather suddenly. We'd like to understand why.
We felt that after the attack, there was nothing of value left to guard in the place, and things were becoming dangerous for people around. Yes,
As I understand it, the master of the house was still alive.
he was.
So then, considering he was your employer, still something left to guard.
Right now, we're guarding him from the outside by gleaning information on those that may have attacked him.
Roll deception again. You know, threatening your dice never works.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Very well.
Don't you fuck
We're so well.
What was it?
What did I tell you about threatening your dice?
Not good. Deception 15. Going for the 3. Or 4.
Even assuming that was correct, I believe the job you were given was to guard him, his person, in his home.
But, as I'm sure you well know, part of guarding somebody is knowing the threats that they face.
Absolutely. If one of you had left, I would understand. Or even two. But none of you are there now. So
Or
who
are
guards
we?
him?
We have certain measures in place.
I see. I'm not sure what to do here. It was made very clear to me that if your job was completed successfully, then a price would be removed from what you owe. But that does not appear to have happened. So I can't very well remove what was asked. Though I can't very well say that you outright failed either. Since as far as I'm aware, Wallace is still alive.
Thanks to us.
Be that as it may, you still have 1 week left. Do you intend to abandon that task? Or will you return and finish what you were assigned?
Would we be able to just talk to Lazarus quickly?
Group meeting.
I see no problem in asking your comrades for their opinion.
Alrighty.
I will wait here.
Step away.
Out of earshot.
Okay.
Passive
Quite-
trace is still on.
Okay, so
How long does it last?
I think it's an
An
hour.
hour.
It wouldn't be on then. Because you
Right, I
left
went
and-
away.
Yeah.
I forgot I went away for 2 hours.
Walk away like twice the distance to not be heard. Like,
Okay.
I mean, Lazarus and I could go back.
It's true.
We're not the ones who screwed things up. But didn't screw things up all at the same time.
I mean, it's a good point.
Lazarus. Come in, Lazarus.
Yes, Kenna. Another request.
Yeah, how would you feel if you and I went back to Wallace's?
There would have to be a purpose in mind.
We have a week left on our job.
We do.
Who's Wallace?
One moment, Mary. Just like go to the other room. And I'm gonna have to try and keep a concerted effort to keep my voice down in there now.
I mean, she is 8.
Yeah.
She's pretty nosy.
Alright, I'll go into my room and shut the door and kind of go against the wall. And
Okay.
what's the situation?
Well, we owe the Thieves' Blade another week.
The Thieves' Blade.
Not the Thieves, whatever they're called. Wow, okay.
One shot.
Shadows.
The
Blade
Shadows
Shadow.
Blade.
Why don't we just merge the organizations?
What's
There's
the
too
matter?
many
Call them
names.
the Thieves' Blade.
Shadows Blade, we owe them another week.
We do.
And they're not happy that we're not there. And if we don't go back, we're not going to get that money off of what we owe.
Then we should go back.
But I only think you and I can go back because I feel like some other people might have not be welcomed.
Perhaps, but if we can settle that amicably, it would be to all of our benefit.
Yeah, but what are we going to do about,
About
your little job. Your current job. What you're currently doing.
So someone's going to have to replace Lazarus.
So if all 4 of us are back at Wallace's, we can't do that.
You just said all 4 of us weren't going to be at Wallace's.
I know. But it sounded like you were saying we should fix it so all 4 of us could be there. I think you and I should go back, and these 2 can deal with what they did.
All right, is Lazarus heading there now?
No, we can't leave Mary alone. Just wait. We just have to talk to...
Oh, Lazarus has become quite good at waiting.
I'm sorry.
What is saucy lizard?
Very well, he shall wait.
Tell him you should get some liquor. He needs to come.
I'm not saying that.
Oh.
I suppose then if you need to know for the immediate, we're in agreement that we should return.
Alright, that's all I needed, thank you. Wallace knew you went with this, right?
He would have been informed, yes.
Okay, so yeah. Well, guess me and Lazarus are going back.
Make
Thanks,
sure
boys.
that if you ask about Nim and I, that you just say that we're out looking for the people who attacked the warehouse.
How would I say I haven't seen you?
You can also say that, but they might not believe it. I'm just saying, if they see through your first lie, hit them with a second.
I haven't seen them because they're out looking for whoever did whatever they did to the warehouse, right? That's all I gotta say.
Well, first.
I know. First I just say I haven't seen them, and then when they're like, but you have. No, I haven't seen them because they're out looking for blah, blah, blah.
Exactly,
I'm
you
not
got it.
stupid, I know how to lie.
You got it.
We'll let the rolls be the judge of that.
Well,
Okay.
looks like we're in agreement, and Lazarus and myself will head back to Wallace's.
Okay, so you guys
Yeah,
walk back and
yeah.
tell him that? That's good to hear. I would hate to think that the first task you were assigned was a failure.
Same here. I don't like to fail.
Good. If you don't mind me asking, what are Nim and Dis going to be doing?
Taking care of the dry cleaners.
We're a business-friendly people.
Fair enough.
It's not a lie.
I'll see you in a week.
Cool. One thing before you go. The laundromat that's being run is very good. If you need those clothes cleaned, I don't mind.
I'll keep it under advisement.
Could maybe get you a discount, but no guarantees.
Thank you.
It's a timeline thing, you understand.
He doesn't reply, and just kind of slinks back down the back alley.
Well, one of you better get back and relieve Lazarus.
We should probably both go.
Yeah, we'll both go for now, and then tomorrow I can head up the laundry, I guess, and do my job.
Tell
Sounds
Lazarus
good.
I'll be waiting for him at the dry cleaners.
What?
Why?
You literally just told me to wait there.
Yeah, because they're coming to relieve you.
Go to the dry cleaner now.
Well, so that we can walk over together.
Or you could just come back.
You need some liquor. I told you.
Oh. Fine, I'll just walk to Wallace's and you can walk by yourself. I guess I'll go back with them, even though this seems like backtracking.
Okay.
Listen.
You guys all head back to Lil's. How careful are you being with going back to Lil's? Do you feel like less pressure on now? Or are you
saunter.
still pretty paranoid about Wallace looking for you?
I think we
or-
should pretend to be going up to our rooms and not to a secret room in the basement.
So I saunter.
Okay.
Act like we're
Saunters.
casual and we're just
Yeah.
doing normal.
Okay. All right. So you guys just kind of head back with no particular fanfare or flair, and you walk back into Lil's.
I'm still being super perceptive, though, of mysterious people.
I'm still
Sure.
in a super cool suit.
Yes, you are still in
And
disguise.
You know,
Yeah.
that's going to have to be returned at some point. It belongs to someone.
Yeah, that's gonna
What's the tag on it?
cost me at least a few gold if that doesn't.
But don't worry, I'll keep good care of this. You can have it back pretty quick.
I would have hated to have thought of what would happen if you got into combat with it on.
I was waiting to run into somebody who actually owned it. Like, looks really familiar.
That's a nice suit.
Thanks, I stole it.
Wait, no, I'd like to change that. Okay, so you guys get back to Lil's. You go up to your rooms. I presume you contact Lazarus from there. Okay. So are you guys heading back to Wallace's immediately? Mm-hmm. Okay. And I guess the two of you make your way back down to the basement with Mary? Okay. All right. Okay, the two of you will head to Wallace's. As a very brief, because I'll try to kind of accelerate our time span here just a little bit, but as a very quick, I suspect that once it's just Mary, Nim, and Kenna, Mary probably tries to pull Nim aside and apologize for what
Nim
she
and
had.
Dis?
You said Kenna.
Oh, did I say Kenna? Sorry. Pulls Nim aside and kind of apologizes for what she had asked you for. But we can do a much longer version of that later. But in the meantime...
Enjoy.
In the meantime, we'll assume that such a thing happens, but I suspect the rest of our session today will be at Wallace's, so I just kind of wanted to make sure that was out there. Okay, so Kenna and Lazarus, you're heading back to Wallace's. What's the game plan here?
So I'm telling him what we have to say about these two disappearing. And again, you can't lie, so...
Lazarus can lie.
Oh, I thought you couldn't.
He's lied first.
I know, but he usually,
He's a poor liar.
he lies around the
He's
lie.
a very good person.
And then we're also going to have to figure out a reason as to why we left.
That's easy.
We were chasing people?
Basically, we're just... As soon as we had... Because Lazarus was giving commands all the way up to the point he left.
Correct.
So Lazarus will just state he had given up all of his commands and everything that had led up to the point, and then especially when Wallace called to bring them all here, Lazarus assumed he had meant his guard.
Mm-hmm.
And so Lazarus immediately took the opportunity to immediately just leave and Brent put out feelers and see if he could find anything that was going on.
So that seems to be the lie.
What if they question why you were throwing me around?
I just dragged you behind me and you stumbled.
Okay.
And then,
I had just been injured.
Yeah, and Lazarus's performance was just to make it look urgent.
Okay. So we'll start with the obvious.
Well, I mean, what are we doing about Nim and Dis now?
We haven't seen them because they're searching forever. We haven't seen them, and if they question it further, because they are searching for whatever happened at the warehouse.
But we don't know there's a warehouse.
But we've been in communication with them.
Are we going to hint that? Or should we just say we don't know anything about the warehouse, period? And so we haven't been in communication since then.
The warehouse? Wait, You
I
haven't
guess
mentioned a warehouse?
we can try to just say we have no idea. That's partially what took us so long to get back. We were searching for them. Okay, cool.
Alright, and that's the best I can come up with, isn't it? I guess.
Okay. So, you guys arrive at the front gate. And there are 2 guards at the front gate, one more than usual. A cursory glance of the outside walls indicates that the number of guards on the wall has also been doubled. Maybe not unsurprising, but nonetheless a little disconcerting. As you approach, one of the guards you recognize, and he recognizes you, and just very quickly he's like, Lazarus!
Yes.
You're back!
We are.
The boss definitely wants to see you.
No doubt.
All right. We were told to drag you back if we found you, but I guess if you're just gonna go up anyway.
We'll go up willingly.
Okay. Follow me.
Hold on to your buckets.
So, you walk inside, and 2 things have changed about Wallace's mansion since the last time you were there. The first is there are no girls. All of the girls that were chained to the walls, everything, they're all gone. The second thing that you notice is most of the waitstaff have also disappeared. The whole place seems emptier, but with more guards.
Interesting. Things are gonna be fun.
The guard that's leading you kind of stops there for a moment. Just up the stairs.
Thank you.
We know where we're going.
All right. Lazarus?
Hmm?
It was good working with you, buddy.
We'll see.
Okay. You guys climb the stairs. The doors to Wallace's private chamber are closed.
Knock on the door.
That's kind of nuts.
Okay. There's a brief pause before that better be good news.
Lazarus is just like, well, we'll see. Just opens the door.
Okay. You open the door, and
Is he naked?
it's even more horrible than that.
Oh no.
First of all, he is naked. So there's that. But he was kind of always naked,
But
just
you
with
have
women clothing on. Now there are no women clothing. And it's immediately obvious as to why. Every square inch of the walls of the large room that he's in are covered with people that have been nailed to the wall. Most of his waitstaff, and to your eye anyway, basically all of the girls are all nailed to the wall in several places. As the door opens...
Are they alive?
You'd have to medicine check most of them. A lot of them seem to be passed out. Or if not dead.
Does it stink like death?
It's certainly getting there. I mean, you guys have only been gone for a day and a half-ish. Almost 2 days. When the door opens, immediately he kind of looks at you from this couch apparatus that he lays upon. And just, you see all of that red come right up into his face.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of nerve coming back in here.
Well, we figured we might as well tell you what we did not find.
What you didn't find.
Nothing of use, unfortunately.
That's what I was going to say about you.
After we killed the first 2 assassins.
2? 2? You killed 2 of them? Well, la-di-da! Did you stop them from stealing from me? Killing my guards? Infiltrating my goddamn home?
I understand that you were quite upset.
Oh, I'm
Wallace.
beyond upset.
I understand that.
I've slipped well past being upset, and right into full-blown murder.
We've seen. However, we were doing the same on our end, closing ties. After Lazarus left the manor, he had certain checks and locations to look out for.
I see. And while I'm sitting over here debating which spot on my lovely new mural the 2 of you would fit in, why don't you try to explain to me why you don't deserve to be up on that wall?
You hired us to defend yourself, did you not?
I did.
And as far as we see it, with 2 members on premises, we stopped 2 assassins. And you are still wholly intact.
I see. So your argument to me is that I haven't been personally harmed.
That is the good side of things. As far as being you were attacked by assassins.
And what of your 2 little friends? that went off on a little job for me and have yet to return?
We haven't seen them.
Oh, haven't you? So you fled my little compound after killing 2 assassins, or so you say. And then you went out to gather information, and what you're telling me is you came back with none.
That is correct.
It's not what we'd want to come back with, but we felt like we had spent enough time out of your complex.
Another day was spent looking for our own friends.
And what of these 2 assassins you say you killed? What proof have I that you did that?
It happened in here.
Oh, I heard there was a break-in, but I see no evidence of 2 dead assassins in my home.
That
What
would
I
be
do-
Curious.
What I do have evidence of is a pantry of mine that held something very important to me has suddenly been broken into and gone missing, and mysteriously 4 of my guards just sort of tra-la-la'd away right afterwards.
Lazarus had given out all the orders he had thought necessary prior to leaving.
To kill these assassins, you say there were.
To kill the rest of the assassins.
We prevented 2 quite early, evidence of more. Lazarus gave his orders out to the guards. Afterwards, and after you had called yourself to summon all the guards to you, we took it as an opportunity that we could go looking elsewhere.
And where are these assassins
There was
that you so heroically defeated?
We killed them in the...
It was on the main floor. 1 had perished, and we had captured another and put him in your dungeon.
I see. And the fact that there is no such individual in my dungeon now?
Would allude that there has been more shenanigans.
It's concerning.
I would agree, there's a great deal of shenanigans that seem to be going on, but almost exclusively with your little circus.
We were here to defend yourself, and we are here to return to do so.
You come very highly recommended, as I believe I had mentioned when you first joined.
We could have spoken with you more prior to leaving.
Oh yes, and you will from now on. Let us make that perfectly clear. If I catch you leaving without approval again, I will have much worse done to you than make you part of the little painting I've been working on. But for now, why don't you just go get that damn black elf, so that he can tell me what has happened to my operation?
Very well. You wish for one to stay here and one to seek Dis.
What I wish is for you to accomplish some sort of measurable result. If you need both of you to do that, then feel free. But if you run one more time, I will use all of the money I have at my disposal to make sure that there is nowhere in this city safe for you to even take a shit. Is that clear?
Understood.
Perfectly.
Very good. Now return to me the black elf and my property. And then we can get back to business.
Lazarus just does like a curt nod and just leaves the room.
Okay.
Alright.
Kenna, do you leave the room as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll put a little saunter in my step as I'm leaving.
All right. Very well. A little saunter in the step. You guys get outside. I presume you close the doors.
Yep.
What do you do?
Walk away from the doors.
I suppose.
Yeah, I guess he gave you leave to leave.
Yeah, so I suppose if that's his immediate order, we just actually leave the manor again immediately.
Okay.
Did we both leave? Because he told us to leave, but the Shadow Blade said we had to be here. So I think one of us needs to stay behind.
Who do you want it to be?
I'll stay behind.
Sure. Lazarus is still he's the one that's been sold himself as the defensive one.
This is true. But I'm also the pretty one.
Yeah, but that just might make you part of a painting.
Or it could make me part of his clothing.
Not anymore, it seems like. Are we just...
I mean, I think we need to have a discussion of what we're doing with the situation.
Right, but you mentioned one of us needs to stay behind for the time being. So I guess Lazarus just stays behind for the time being?
Right.
Lazarus will post himself immediately outside Wallace's door, I guess. So
Okay.
Selling the more protecting Wallace part.
Sure. Absolutely. In the meantime, I guess, Kenna, you'll pick up your ring from the front gate and head back to the boys.
I get one part of humor by just seeing that guard, see me again, come out intact, and just kind of give him a...
Yeah, I'm sure he kind of gives a...
Yep.
Okay, so while you guys have been gone, it's just been the two of you, Nim and Dis, with Mary in the basement. Nim, as I had mentioned, I suspect Mary pulls you aside at some point and gives you kind of a very quick, I'd like to apologize for what I said earlier.
Thank you for the apology. Put me in a very awkward spot.
I know.
But, I mean, we were here to save you, so we're happy that you're somewhat alright, and we'll be working on getting you better, so...
Good. I kind of talked to the big lizard. Lazarus the lizard. That's right?
Yeah, well, he's kind of a dragonborn, but yeah, we call him a lizard sometimes, too.
I don't know if I want to go home yet.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's really an option at this moment.
Oh.
We're working on it, but...
Can I hear any of this? Is this...
She pulled him to the side.
Okay.
Probably into another room, actually.
Thanks.
Good, I guess.
I mean...
Can I help?
How long do you want before you go home? What's stopping you from wanting to go home?
She seems to kind of think about it for a moment. Do we know how many people are left that knew about where I was?
I don't know how many people specifically knew you were there.
Nim, I want to ask you for a different favor. It's not weird this time, I promise.
Okay.
I want to kill them. All of them.
I think this can be arranged.
This just kicks open the door. I heard murder.
I heard someone mention murder.
Lazarus just sneezes somewhere in the background. Like, all my effort gone.
She takes a moment and she's just, good.
I mean, it's gonna be tough, but I think we can do our best.
Thank you, Nim. So does Dis know any good games? Lazarus's games were awful.
Lazarus sneezes again.
Actually, with your background, do you have a gaming set?
I don't think I took one, but... Actually, did I take a set? No, I don't think so.
Actually, Lazarus still has that shoddily cut set of wood he took out the Sailor's ages ago.
It's an option.
That's right. That was a while ago.
But I don't think he would have taken it because it didn't fit with the sleeve can. I believe. Because I didn't write one down, so I'm pretty sure.
while you're looking for that, she just sort of confidently strides out of the room after talking to you. And she walks right into the main area where Dis is, sits down at the table, and is just kind of like, Dis, do you have any good games to play?
Of course, I know all the games. What games do you know?
And she like lists off a couple of different like childhood games that she knows. And then very nonchalantly, she just kind of, we're gonna have to find some fun games to play. It might take a while for Nim to round up all the people I have to kill.
Now, what was that?
You know, the people that did this to me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's the second part?
Nim said I could kill them.
You particularly? Or you in particular?
I asked.
So you want to kill them?
I do.
Maybe we can.
Am I still
I mean, I assume you followed after her.
Yeah, I'm like, wait.
What?
You want to kill them?
What?
I thought you wanted them killed.
No, I want to do it.
You can't just watch?
I mean, if I have to, but...
So that is an option.
8-year-old.
Because we can kill the shit out of them in front of you. Nim and I have no problem with that.
I mean, couldn't you just hold them down then?
Well, I mean, probably, but...
What powers do you have to kill people?
She kind of like sits there and she's like, I guess I am kind of small.
I'll be honest with you. I know revenge seems like a good thing. But what you're gonna find is after you plunge that blade in, you're gonna wish you waited till you were a teenager.
Like me and Dis did.
That's right. You have to wait until you're a bit older.
Yeah, I'm still.
And that way, it won't affect you as poorly.
I see.
Yeah, you only get the nightmares occasionally if you wait till you're a teenager.
That's right.
I'll have to think about it.
But in the meantime, I can show you a couple games. I don't actually have any gaming games.
No, it said it was like an option for you, so you probably took something else.
I'm sure you guys can come up with a game of some kind to entertain her.
Like throwing knives at walls.
What did we do for Lazarus? It was a luck roll and a performance roll, I think, to see how entertaining you were.
Okay, how about this? I'm going to teach you a fun game here. It's called How to Not Die in a Fight.
That does sound like fun.
And I'm gonna look around for like a little piece of wood.
Oh my god, I'm gonna start trading.
That's like
Okay.
blade length.
Yeah, I mean, there's various bits of storage down here, so I suspect you could find a bit of wood.
I'm gonna try to find 4 pieces.
Okay.
Wood.
I'm going to go, okay.
I'm gonna give her 2.
Okay.
Be like, hold those.
Mhm.
Now imagine these are your weapons. These are blades.
She kind of looks at him. Okay.
And I also have blades.
I pull out the other 2 pieces of wood. I'm like,
Try to land a hit on me.
and I'm just gonna train her that way.
Okay. Training the 8-year-old girl in dual wielding.
Damn right.
I like it. We'll find out how successful that is once you've had more time to train her. But in the meantime, so that leaves us with Lazarus is hanging out in Wallace's mansion, just kind of, you guys know you have a week more there, and Kenna's on her way back to talk about how that's going to work. And then presumably during that time and after it, you seem more or less free and clear to do what you want still. At least as far as anybody's been able to tell you so far. So, why don't we figure out your guys' plan for dealing with Wallace, and we'll see how that goes. And then after that, we'll assume the rest of that 2 months of downtime activity we still have left will follow after that quite naturally, and we'll do the last couple of things that each of you guys wants to do, and then we'll pick back up with normal time. Okay, so Kenna, you've had plenty of time to get back there. You probably come in, honestly, with Dis still teaching Mary how to fight. Since I doubt she's going to want to quit anytime soon. Her stamina is actually pretty impressive for an 8-year-old.
Hey, Dis.
Hey, Kenna.
We're gonna have to talk.
Oh boy. Assuming something went on with Wallace.
Yep.
Alright. So,
Nim, do you want to hang out with Mary?
Sure. I mean, he was training her with blades. I could probably show her a cantrip or two.
Do that.
I tell Mary, I'm like, alright, Nim's gonna teach you how to cook a meal.
Cook a meal. I guess, yeah, prestidigitation can warm up food. It's like a microwave.
There's gonna be some magic-y shit, watch out.
Is that 2 minutes on 70% or a minute and a half on 100? Okay. She's very much, she kind of like, oh, okay.
Thanks,
And
Mary. Have
she
fun.
like, she walks over to Nim and she's like, okay, show me what to do. I mean, she seems pretty into it.
Okay. No.
I'll take you upstairs.
Alright.
Okay. 2 of you go upstairs into that back room where the trapdoor is.
So Wallace wants you.
I'm sure he does.
Like, not an option unless you come back.
See, that worries me.
Oh, it should, because his room is literally a murder scene.
That's not good. What about the girls? The dancing girls?
They're all hanging on the wall dead,
Along
with most of the waitstaff.
Well, shit. I like them.
Well, they're dead.
So, you want me to go back?
You kind of have to.
Or what? What did he say was going to happen if I didn't?
Nothing good.
Would it be nothing good to me? Or would it be nothing good to you guys?
Us.
Ooh. I mean, I could go back. But it
I
keeps
think you
guys
need
safe.
to come up with a solid story.
I already have a solid story. But I didn't want to use it.
Well, looks like you're gonna have to.
Alright, we can give this a go. But I'm warning you, this goes bad. He's going down, and I'm getting out.
Well, yeah, because if you... Yeah.
So, be careful and be ready to run to your rings.
Well, maybe I'll come with you. We could leave him in with Mary. Might be best.
Yeah, probably have some backup.
Lazarus is there.
Lazarus can maybe help too if he can get time to do it.
I don't know. He won't have his ring on because that Wallace sits.
Maybe I'll probably just head back, or we can head back together and then you can just bring me right to his room. Probably best to let Lazarus do what he needs to do right now.
Yeah.
Alright,
I'll go tell Nim.
okay. Alright, I will.
All my stuff goes to him.
All right, so as Kenna pokes her head back down into that area, you're rewarded with a view of Nim trying to teach Mary how to cast Prestidigitation as a cantrip. And Mary's actually already gotten so far as making little tiny sparks out of her hands.
That's concerning.
That's concerning.
We're gonna make her the best.
Jamie and V2.
So I'm gonna have to take Dis with me.
Aw, who's gonna teach me how to fight then?
He can teach you when he comes back.
Okay.
Now see, you're worrying me a bit with that pause.
You're not with me.
What's exactly the plan here?
Yes, please, make a plan.
Dis is coming back with us.
Alright.
He's coughing. Water went away.
No worries.
The plan is that Dis is coming back to Wallace's and he's telling him what happened at the factory in Dis's words.
Seems like a full party kind of adventure.
Seems like that's not really an option right now, doesn't it?
I mean, we could talk to Lil, see if she's got like a...
Seems like that's not really an option now, is it?
I can just stay down here. I'm not an idiot. I can just not go upstairs.
Mary, I think that's so sweet of you, but it's not that we're scared of you going upstairs. We're scared of people coming and finding you.
So,
We're keeping people here to keep you safe.
I mean, what's wrong with the Lil plan?
I mean, I guess you could ask her, but that just adds another person to the mix.
Yeah, but she already knows that Mary's here.
I meant at Wallace's. He only asked for the drow, not for you.
Yeah, but if things go sideways and I'm not there, it seems like it's better for all of us to be.
I don't know, he has double the guards he had before. If things go sideways, regardless.
I mean, yeah, but I'm like a magic missile that can punch through their defenses.
I mean, he has other mages.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Fine, I'll ask Lil. I'll go find Lil.
Okay. She's just behind the bar.
Hello.
Yes, dear?
Do you by chance have someone who can stay downstairs with our guest?
Stay downstairs with them? For how long?
Not exactly sure. Could be a week.
All right. I think I have someone that can keep an eye on her. Does she need anything in particular?
No magic is to be done anywhere near her.
All right, that's not usually a problem when one is babysitting, but I'll make a special note.
Other than that, just keep track of her height.
Keep track of her height, dear?
Yep, keep track of her height.
Well, I guess children do usually like doing that.
She seems to be in a growth spurt right now.
Oh, I see. All right, that seems fine.
All right. Thanks, Lil.
Okay. Sounds like the full party's heading to Wallace's then. Oh boy. This is starting to sound like all the preparation of equipping up to fight a big baddie. I like where this is going.
I know.
Glad you do.
Oh, I always like the direction the story's going. Okay, well, I guess, you've got the three of you. You have to head back to Wallace's where Lazarus is. Preparations you're making before you go or on your way?
Is anyone going to come in?
Yeah, you
Flight
can't.
down Lazarus first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't tell Lazarus anything right now, but obviously
You're right
you can
out
make
front
plans.
of the door, so
Outside of Wallace's door.
I know. That's what I mean. Like,
It'd probably be something like I would go into Wallace's room and then Kenna or Nim or whoever could talk to Lazarus. And...
no.
You guys can be discussing this while you're walking as well, so
we
whatever
will pull
plan
Lazarus aside before we go anywhere near. Like, I don't even think you should be inside the walls when I go get Lazarus.
Okay, so I'd wait outside.
Yes, with
That'll work.
him. And you two better nail down your story.
Oh, we're experts at this.
well, maybe the best plan is, because we've kind of spent some resources today, is to say that you found Dis and that he's on his way, but he'll be here tomorrow.
Sure.
I think is the best plan.
Get that long rest in.
Get that long rest in, get my lucky point. Get some of my spell slots.
we have a week to bring him back, so we don't even have to say that. In fact, if we mentioned we found him or
That quick,
Brennan
it might
tomorrow,
not be
that would
good.
backfire immensely.
So maybe come in 2 days?
Just leave Lazarus there for a day.
Yeah.
I'll head out tomorrow, and then you guys come the next day.
Okay, so are you staying here to long rest before you go back?
Yeah.
Okay. Lazarus, that'll leave you at Wallace's alone for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Very quickly, a couple of things that you notice during the night. And if you feel like you need to intervene in any of this, please feel free. Are you just going to kind of stay stationed at his door most of the time?
Most of the time.
Okay. Wallace has taken a very deliberate point of ignoring you, in the sense that he doesn't talk to you directly. Obviously, if he sees you when the door is opened, he makes no specific notice of you. He seems very much to have kind of just dismissed you until you bring him what he's after.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, he's not... what's the word? He's not sitting there waiting. Over the course of the next several hours, as the day wanes into the night, you watch him bring in at least another 6 women to be added to the wall. You watch him welcome at least another 10 guards. That all seem to, judging from the conversation that you're overhearing, seem to be part of a larger contingent that he's been using at other properties, and he's bringing them here now. Seems to be kind of arming and gearing himself up for a defense. The last thing that you notice is many of the guards that you had talked to on the wall previously, they're still around. He hasn't really done anything to the guardsmen, at least as far as you can tell. You didn't see any up on his walls. None of them seem to have been missing. But what you have noticed is that most of the guardsmen that you were much more friendly with while you were here before...
Is there like a shift to them all being like quiet?
A little, yeah. Like, there's a certain amount of, like, shifty-eyed, like, nobody's really sure how much they should be talking to you. A lot of that probably comes from Wallace being very directly dismissive of you. But you do also notice that a lot of them just seem a lot more focused. You're not sure if maybe the pay has gone up or what, but everybody seems very much nose to the grindstone. You've watched several of the mages redoing the wards on the windows. Definitely defense is being amped up for some reason.
All right.
That handles the night. You guys have obviously long rested by now. Kenna, so you were heading back right away after that first long rest, and you're asking them to wait one more long rest? Is that the gist of it?
Well, is
I
that
wouldn't
such
head
a
back right away. I think I'd
Right.
head back like in the later afternoon.
is that such a good idea, or should we all head back at once?
I don't think it's an issue with me heading back. I need to give Lazarus a heads up.
All right.
You want to mention you found us?
Yep.
I think that works into our...
Yep. And that you'd be arriving tomorrow.
Okay. So, you head back that way after a little bit of the day has gone by. Is there anything in particular you guys are doing in this in-between day?
Not really.
Just kind of biding your time?
Lazarus is probably just trying to stomach everything right now.
I would note that it's definitely a case of each new day, the smell from that room is going to get worse.
Well, just even knowing that it happened is probably seething under Lazarus right now.
Oh, I'm sure. Being a character such as you are, I'm sure those women and, well, it's mostly women. I mean, there are some men in his waitstaff and that sort of stuff, but yeah, it's mostly them up on that wall. Okay. Kenna, you arrive at the gate. They allow you inside. They're expecting you. You also notice the change in demeanor of the guards. Everybody seems a little less, willing to kind of chit-chat, and everybody seems just a little bit more business-focused. But nevertheless, they have no problem. They put your ring in the drawer, and they take you in to see Lazarus.
When you get a break from your position, let's talk to you.
I suppose how long have I been there? At this
At
point?
least most of the morning.
Then I suppose Lazarus can take a standoff.
Okay. Where did the two of you go to talk quietly?
Dungeon?
Yes. It's not really anything else we can do.
I think we would maybe walk around the house and scope out to see a place with the least amount of guards.
Okay. I won't lie, since the guard numbers have been continually increasing, that is getting more and more difficult. Dungeon may be your best bet, at least the walls are thicker. But,
To the dungeon.
Lazarus also wants to see where he knows that assassins was tied up too.
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Check it out.
So you go down into the dungeon, and the first thing you notice is all of the dungeon rooms have been repurposed. They were previously holding a lot of the girls. Now they've been repurposed into extra guard quarters. The doors have been taken off so that, people can't be locked in them anymore, and they're just kind of being used as bunkhouses, really. Including the room you remember the one assassin being dropped off in, there are now 3 guards sleeping on cots in there. And definitely no sign of an assassin being housed there.
Welp.
Do any of the rooms not have any people in them?
Down near the end, there's a couple that are being used for storage materials instead, just because of the obvious influx of people to the house. They don't have all that much room. You could, like, kind of climb up into there and hunker down behind some of the boxes.
Are you ready for an adventure?
What?
I just take them to the end of the hallway and just say, I found them and they're on their way.
Very well. Is there anything else Lazarus should need to know, or should he pay non-committal to this part?
I'm not exactly sure what we should do.
Right, and pretending Lazarus knows nothing, it is.
Which will be hard to pretend. Because you don't really know a lot about what's going on.
Nope.
Okay. So the idea being... So are you guys coming the next morning?
I will come.
Yeah, I think next morning would be good.
Okay.
Even like towards lunch.
Okay. In the meantime, I assume you've been kind of staying away from Lil's. Is that the case? Trying not to draw any attention to there, since you've already organized somebody to watch Mary anyway.
Yeah, probably
Yeah, I'd probably
go to the merchant rung and then just hang around the outskirts.
You do still have your business to run as well.
Oh
yeah, I'd be at the laundromat doing laundromat stuff.
Okay. Any awkwardness there meeting Alex for the first time after?
No, I'd just be like,
Hey, Gildy.
yeah, if there's no one in there, yeah.
Okay, you kind of just do the hey, and he kind of smiles and just gives you the polite nod.
Yeah, and then I just clean the clothes and do that stuff, and
Okay.
I'll sleep in the back room for that night, just on a pile of dirty clothes. Just
You should probably clean ones.
I also give back the clothes
Well, then
in the
I-
night, the first
Nim's
night.
all about
Okay.
efficiency, though, so he sleeps on the dirty clothes and then he cleans them afterwards. He doesn't care. He's a wizard.
He's a wizard.
He's a wizard.
But you're like a germaphobe.
I guess. They wouldn't be like filthy dirty clothes. I'd probably like pre-clean them. Okay, I pre-clean them, sleep
There we
on
go.
them, and then clean them again.
That
Details.
seems more like Nim.
Details. Yes, always with the details. All right, well, since it sounds like you guys will be heading into a potentially tense situation and we're running close to time on this one, we'll probably end it here for today and we'll pick back up in the next session. I will remind you that at this point, the downtime activity hasn't ended, so you won't have leveled up yet.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're planning on doing anything of an ambushy type sort next session, plan with only what you have now, rather than what you expect you will have when the downtime activity ends. Okay. All right. We'll see you guys next session. Wow, what a cliffhanger. I wonder what's going to happen next time. Seriously, guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening in. If you liked what you heard, share us with your friends. If you hated what you heard, share us with your enemies. Seriously, though, like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll find out what happens to Doubles and Dragons next time.